I was someone, if I wanted to get a rental car and I Google it, and let's say you started a month ago,
Yeah.
but you're like on the first page, maybe top 5 links or something like that. Like, how are you getting yourself on there with such a broad? Because it's not like the fanpreneurs. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a very specific.
Rephrase your question. Are you saying how can I compete with a company like Enterprise or
Exactly.
Budget Auto and
Correct.
all these big companies
Correct.
who have millions of dollars?
Yeah, because it's still so broad too. Like,
The way that you are able to rank a website is that you have to demonstrate to the search engine that you have the best site.
What's going on, family? Welcome to another edition of the Digital Empire Podcast, where we talk about everything digital investments and entrepreneurship. And like no other episode, we have an amazing guest. This man is actually, if we're going to be honest, I think the subject in the industry that he's in is so slept on, but so important in our space of entrepreneurship. It's just, I can't even like press how, like, it's super important. Everybody's heard of SEO. Everybody's heard of ranking. Everybody's heard of research. Everybody's heard of these specific keywords when it comes to your business, but do you actually know how it can be monetized within your business, how you can profit off of this? So we got my man Chris here. Appreciate you for coming through, my man. Thank you so much.
For having me.
Can you tell our audience, like, what do you do, how you help people, who you serve?
My name is Chris Williams, owner of Elite Web Professionals. I am a 15-year SEO, and my job is to help my clients get on the first page of Google when people search for them.
Okay, that's interesting. So let me know if we did something right here. So you know how most people, they make a website, right? And there's like a SEO data section where you just kind of like put your name, put your description, the keywords, the favicon and all that. And then it just pops up in the first Google page. Like, if you Google the fanpreneurs, we own the Google page. We own the first page.
Awesome.
Right? Is that some form of SEO?
Very much so. Most important part, actually, because that's your company name.
Okay.
So what I teach is that the first thing that you do when you are doing SEO is you claim your company name first.
Right.
That's the most important part, because when someone is looking for your company, if you're not there, then your competitor is going to come up, because likely you're the
1000%.
keyword associated with your company name. So first, you're going to dominate for your company name, which sounds a lot easier than it actually is, because likely in 2023, there's other companies with a similar name as yours. You might have your keyword inside of your domain name, and it becomes a challenge to come up on the first page. But then the next thing, you need to get visibility in your local area.
Explain. What do you mean?
So let's say, for example, if we were to use an example of a podcast studio, right? And we were in Atlanta, you would need to dominate in Atlanta. After you get your ranking for your company name, you would then move into the Atlanta or wherever you locate a smaller city, like maybe Marietta, wherever you physically located, you want to get visibility there. And so,
Interesting.
So if they're looking for a podcast studio Atlanta or a podcast studio Marietta, your website should pop on the first page, not for your company name, but for what you offer, the service that you provide. That's the keyword. And so that's how you get a visibility on what I call the highways and byways of the web. See, your billboard on the side of the highway is advertising that people are not looking for. Whereas they're on Google, they're literally searching for what you do, the keyword. So if you're able to be visible at that time, you can generate traffic and generate leads. Interesting.
Okay, I need to know more about this local area thing. Okay, this is a curious question. Okay. So, like, let's use us, the fanpreneurs, as an example.
Okay.
We on the first page, but if, let's say, this podcast, how would we be able to get this podcast locally, to be known locally in the area? Use that as an example. If you have a podcast, how does that work? How do you rank yourself?
So it's a service. So what service do you provide for the community? So if you are offering your studio for services so that someone can use your studio to create their own podcast, then that's when you would advertise podcast studio in Atlanta.
So this is only brick and mortar? Or
services.
Can it, or so it could be online services?
You have people who, they don't actually offer brick and mortar services. Like you have like a flooring company. They do the flooring at your home. So not only do they service their local area, they also service the surrounding cities around that area as well. So that's where SEO comes into play. So now you're not only targeting, just Atlanta, you're charging Marietta, you're charging you're targeting, Duraville and
Interesting.
Alpharetta, all of the cities around. So all of those locations need some form of marketing.
Look, I'm talking to you all every single episode about how to be able to create a 6-figure digital empire. And some of y'all haven't taken action yet. Y'all just, for some reason, life haven't slapped you in the face yet where it's like, yo, I'm tired of being at the place that I'm in right now. I'm tired of working my 9 to 5. I want to create a business. I want to become an entrepreneur. I'm tired of working for someone else when they don't even care about me. Look, I have something for you. I was working a 9 to 5, literally not even a year ago. It's going to be a year this year that I have been able to leave my 9 to 5 to be able to come to you guys and show you how I was able to leave working at Papado, 101 Steak, Ruth Chris, all hospitality places, y'all, to now being able to break 100K months. Literally, this is what happened. Let me tell you. I was able to break 100K months in 6 months, to be more exact. And I'm going to show you exactly how I was able to do it and how exactly I was able to do it from working a job, creating multiple 4 to 5 figures while working my 9 to 5, to then leaving my 9 to 5, to then scaling my business. Y'all, I'm going to show you how to fund your business without using your own money. There's so many things in this book that I could be charging tens of thousands of dollars, and I'm going to share with you how exactly I did it and with pennies of the dollar. It costs $10, y'all. Worst case scenarios, you learn something more and profit off of it. Okay? So look, click the link, thedigitalempireebook.com. Get the ebook, y'all. That's good. I never thought that there was 2 types of ranking, which is like, of course, Google, online, and then you have local. Is there other types of ranking that's out there, or are those the only 2?
So okay, so you got, let's say for example, we take the flooring company. I just brought up flooring. Let's say you do hardwood floors.
Mm-hmm.
So if you were only to target the word hardwood floors in your title that you talked about in the SEO field, if you just type hardwood floors in your title, you're targeting the entire country.
Correct.
So now you're trying to beat every hardwood flooring company in the country.
Right.
Now, if you ranked on the first page of Google and congratulations, but now someone in LA wants a hardwood flooring, can you do it? Now someone in New York wants hardwood flooring, can you do it? So it doesn't benefit you. So it's better to break it down to a smaller area, like your local area where you're physically located.
Understood.
It's much more affordable. It's much easier to get ranked in your local area because it's a lot less competition. So now you're going to say hardwood flooring Atlanta, or in many cases, people are not in the Atlanta property, outside. So then you would say hardwood flooring Marietta, for example, and then you would get the visibility in that area. And once you get ranked in your home city, then you start targeting the cities around it.
Okay, so you focus locally and then you start expanding.
Correct.
Got you. Okay, so would that also be the case if you're Googleable, right? So like if you own the first page, is there anything else that you can do to expand it?
You're only going to own the first page for your name. That's about it.
Okay.
You're not going to be able to own the first page for a keyword, because any keyword in 2023 likely have millions of pages about it. So
that's true.
If you can get on there 2 times, you're doing an excellent job. Likely you're happy to get on there 1. And the facts are, if you're on that first page, your phone's ringing.
Okay. That's interesting. How do you track that though? So like, are there certain softwares to track SEO? Like, maybe I'm getting too ahead of myself.
No, that's
like, cause SEO is such it's like, SEO, but people don't know SEO.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, can you explain that? Like, how can someone track it? How does someone get involved? Like, how does that work?
So I hear people say all types of things. SEO is dead. SEO doesn't work. And the facts are, the people who are doing SEO and the people who say SEO is dead are the main people doing it. If I can get you off of the game, I can get on top and I can win. So, my biggest thing is you have to just get in the game, and you have to get your website in a position where you can win. Now, the way that you measure your results is going to be from your Google Analytics, Google Search Console.
Okay.
It's provided directly from Google, so you can see where your site's ranking. You can see the exact keywords that people are searching for when they come to your website. And it has a separate indicator on the site, organic clicks,
right,
that shows you exactly where those clicks come from.
Interesting.
In addition,
I never thought to look over there.
In addition, you can put a tracking number on your phone, on your website, so that the only place that phone number is located is on your site. So that if they have a billboard, if they have TV commercials or radio ads, they only see the phone number on the website.
So they know that this is something. Okay, got you, got
It
you.
came from there. So that's how you
Right.
can measure the phone calls coming from your website. And then in addition, the Google My Business, for example, has its own tracking software. Every month, it'll let you know how many calls came as a result only from the Google My Business, which is your local placement.
So
And you will
interesting.
be able to see how many phone calls you generated there. And then you have your tracking number to see separately from Google My Business how many calls your site generated.
Yeah. So we had it. So when you like Google us, there's like a panel to the right.
Right.
That's what you mean by the Google Business,
It'll
right?
say My Business on the right hand side with a
Correct.
map of
With
your
the
location.
map, the number, the website, the hours, all that. That's what you're talking about.
And then when you say you own the page, you're probably talking about directories like Yelp, you got Yahoo,
Yep.
Bing, you have Chamber of Commerce, you have the
Mm-hmm.
whole list. So those are the important things you do initially to claim your business page, your business name. And it's very important in the first step because as you imagine, if you don't come up for your own name, how in
That's
the world can you come
interesting.
up for a keyword related to what you do?
Which this could be beneficial if you're getting funded for a bank or if you're trying to establish a company. Like SEO ranking is a lot deeper than just visibility.
I mean, I can tell you stories, fun stories of what my clients have told me SEO has done for them, from being casted in TV shows.
Oh, that's cool.
From personally, I have a luxury rental car business. People have brought cars to my fleet because they were looking for someone that's coming up on the first page. Oh, you're there, so.
Let's talk about that because luxury car rental businesses, there's a lot of them. So like you're saying that you get searched first. How are you getting searched with such a broad topic?
There you go.
Do you get what I'm
There you
saying?
go. Okay.
Like how is someone, if I wanted to get a rental car and I Google it, and let's say you started a month ago,
Yeah.
but you're like on the first page, maybe top 5 links or something like that. Like how are you getting yourself on there with such a broad, because it's not like the fanpreneurs, you know what I'm saying? Like it's a very specific, like no one really owns that name, but like that name is used. So how are you getting yourself on?
Can I rephrase your question? Are you saying how can I compete with a company like Enterprise or
Yeah,
these
like
companies that
yeah,
have been
exactly.
around, Budget Auto, and all these
Correct.
big companies
Correct.
who have millions of dollars?
Yeah, because it's still so broad too. Like
Okay.
so like how are you ranking with them?
So the way that you are able to rank a website is that you have to demonstrate to the search engine that you have the best site. Okay. So
Okay.
the way that you do that is you have the best solutions on your website, and that comes in the form of pictures, words, and interactive tools and videos.
Okay.
Okay. So the way that you organize your content on your website, you can choose a niche. In my case, luxury car service, luxury rental car service in Atlanta. And then at that point, the only way that you can get visibility is if you create better content than all the other websites in your same niche.
What do you mean by better content? Like are we
So
talking like social media content or
we just
like, what do you
rank
mean?
the very similar. So let's say, for example, you have a page about the types of cars. Let's say you have a landing page for each of the cars that you offer. Many of these rental car companies, for example, they don't have individual pages for the cars that they have. So they don't have a Cadillac page. They don't have a,
Of course, yeah.
they don't have a Porsche page. They don't have a, Rolls Royce page, right?
Right.
Rolls Royce.
It's all
page.
just in a hub of
They're
one
always,
website.
Economy. Okay. So you differentiate yourself because you differentiate yourself by giving more specific information. And then what you do is you do a
good.
write-up on the vehicles that you create on the page.
Like copy and everything.
This is the year, model of the car. This is
Gotcha.
the color of the car. These are the features of the vehicle. This is why you should rent from me. This is why we're the best solution. This is where we're located. Here's a map of where we are. Oh, by the way, here's a video.
So there's a strategy even with designing the site that can rank you like everything else as well.
My website's the best.
Like you were saying in regards to it's like how you're delivering it to them.
So you're thinking about what a person is looking for when they're Googling. What are they trying to, what's their intent? That's the key word when you're doing search engine optimization, is what's the person's intent? And then you meet that intent with your content. So Google has created a section on their website with videos because they feel some people would rather look at videos than read content.
Oh, Are they becoming TikTok now? It's crazy.
They have their section where they have shopping that shows up now, where people, I don't want to click on the website, I just want to buy it directly from Google, right?
Right.
So they have created solutions on their search engine to meet the person's intent. If you take that concept and you put it into your website, where if someone is looking for a luxury car, they probably want a video.
Of course.
They probably want to see pictures of that car. How many pictures? More than 2?
At least.
Right?
More than at least 3.
All right. So
every angle.
So then you create this. Then you say, well, what information are you looking for? How many seats? How many suitcases can fit in this car? So you break down all of the different things that they're looking for on your content of your page, and then you can start doing creative things like, okay, well, let's put a calculator on there and let people know, how much it costs to rent a luxury car from a luxury dealership, so a luxury rental car shop. So then now they're on your website clicking on, okay, so I can get this car for this many days and this is what it costs. And so now they're planning the trip on your website.
Got you.
Right? They could have been on, another website, Google, trying to search, but now they found themselves on your site using your tools to get information about their car. And then they go through and they click, okay, there's more cars available. So how many cars your website have? So these are ways that you can make yourself stand out.
It's a lot more complex than placing yourself on the
right. Well, yeah. So it's about the person who's searching for you. You thinking about them first, and you creating the content, and you meeting them.
I was just about to say that. Like, that matters.
Social media is the exact same way.
Mm-hmm.
When I tell somebody about SEO, the first thing I tell them is, okay, you're going to come up with a niche.
Mm-hmm.
In your business, you want to, in the rental car space, you have all types of niches. You have cheap rental cars.
Yep.
You have, you got truck rental.
Mm-hmm.
You can even do equipment rental, right?
Yep.
My niche is luxury car rental. Okay. Exotics. All right. So that's a niche. I broke it down. Okay. So now once you come up with the niche, you're going to come up with, okay, well, who's my target customer? So then same thing with social media.
Yep.
Right. So then you come up with your target customer. Okay. Now I know who my customer is. Okay. Now this is what they want to see. And then I create the content on my website based on what they want to see. And then I publish that information. Once I publish it on my website, I'm monitoring how my website performs.
Right.
When it ranks on Google, and when they come to my website, I'm looking at my analytics to see how well they're performing, how long they're staying on my website, what's their bounce rate. The exact same thing you're doing on your social media. You're
looking at your analytics, and that makes sense.
You're looking at, okay, this content did really well. I need to do more content like that.
Correct.
So you find the content works good on one of your cars. Your Escalade is doing great. Okay, I'm gonna take the same strategy I did for the Escalade. I'm gonna do the same thing for the Cullinan.
That's important. I never thought to look at it. Like, it makes me, I'm just thinking of the website that we have, and it just makes me think, okay, are we satisfying that need? I think we're pretty good at, satisfying a need. I mean, we wouldn't be ranking if we didn't, but like more of satisfying the need, because at the end of the day, it all comes down to knowing your avatar. At the end of the day, who are you talking to? That's really all it comes down to. So that's crazy.
And I haven't looked at your website, but what I would encourage you to do, and you may be doing this already, would be, if you're posting content on your social media channel, find a way to put it on your blog, on your website as well, and make it searchable.
That is so, it's crazy. We did do that, but we stopped doing that.
Okay.
So we do need to continue doing that, because like you were saying, we were talking about this off camera. Look, are you looking for a like-minded community of people who are trying to build a digital investment and digital entrepreneurship business? Well, look, we got something for you. You are listening to this podcast because you want to build a digital investment or become an entrepreneur. Well, look, we got a big community down below in the description. It's called the Digital Empire Patreon. This is something that only people who have joined and listened to this podcast. So this is an exclusive people. You have to listen to this podcast just to be able to get to this Patreon. Okay. So go ahead, subscribe. It literally costs you less than a coffee. Get in, go ahead and just join and get the free content that is a part of that. And I'm telling you, y'all, this content that I'm breaking down, I'm not putting out in public. So you must join in order to get the exclusive stuff that I can't even say in public. So look, y'all, just tap in, just click the link.
And they see that person's been on your website for 10 minutes, 20 minutes.
I was just about to talk about that too. Amount of visitors on the site, time. Blogs are super important when it comes to search and SEO ranking. I never thought about that. That's a good repurposing tool as well. That's
so
cool.
your video goes viral on social media. If you have that same video and content in your website that's searchable, it's possible that it can also go viral outside of social media as well. So someone else who has a blog could take that blog, post it on their blog, link to it. That's how these articles end up on CNN. That's how they end up on local news stations, because reporters, where do they go to get their information from?
Articles, blogs. That's literally all they get it from.
I have people contacting me in my email. I get emails all the time of news reporters looking for information from certain businesses. And I may respond to an article to get one of my clients visibility on the article. It may or may not work, but they're reporters trying to get information on this particular topic, and they want to write an article about it. I've successfully gotten my massage gun was ranked in Cosmopolitan magazine because I responded to an article. I got ranked top 5 in the state for massage.
You wait, whoa. You replied to an article and it went viral. I've never heard that before.
I actually received a request from a reporter in my personal email. Please give me some information about massage. And I replied to the email.
Oh, wow.
And the reporter took my information that I provided in the email, and they made an article on Cosmopolitan about it.
Wow. That's a whole new industry I've never even heard before.
That's when we refer to link building, that's what link building is. It's about trying to get your business links from what the need. And so then what happens is when Google sends that person to your website, resources like news, magazines.
This is why they got designated churches. People for that. You hear it all the time in like shows, you know what I'm saying, where you got people that are designated to research, designated to blogs, designated to link build. I've heard that in shows like Scandal or, big political shows. You know what I'm saying? You hear those terms.
Going to a church and saying, what can I do, to help your church? And they have an event, and you ask them to put a link on their website to your website. That's link building. Going to your county and volunteering there as your business, giving a donation, and they putting a link to your website from the county. Going to a local charity and doing the same thing, and they putting a link to your website. Your business is a part of the community, and every time they link to your site, that gives you authority because you are actively enrolling. So our website has to be interconnected.
That's crazy.
With the web to thrive.
It's like free promo at the same time. It's like a shout out for shout out type of thing.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's quite interesting. It makes you think as an entrepreneur. It makes me think as an entrepreneur, what are other ways to expose your business? Do you get what I'm saying? Because we only think, okay, social media, ads, like paid ads, organic, affiliates.
Right.
Like, but those are like the most popular ways of doing it. But like, you're not really thinking link building, SEO. Like, you're not, because it's not something that's super. Let me not say it's not. It's very popular. Everybody knows what it is. I think it's just a matter of no one's really marketing it as if it's sexy like anything else.
I think there's a lot of misinformation about SEO. You have companies that contact people on the phone saying your Google My Business listing has been canceled, or we need to update your Google My Business listing, and you get on the phone with them and they charge you $500 a month, and you've been doing it for 6 months and nothing. You're still on page 2. That's in your report. You're on page 2. You're almost there. And so. People like, this doesn't work. Why am I doing that?
A long time ago. So
then you're like, why am I spending this money? SEO doesn't work.
Right.
And, that's not what SEO is. SEO is.
And honestly, you don't think anything of it. You think the literal sense of I'm clicking a link. Do you get what I'm saying?
Correct.
But like, you don't really think that that's the terminology of what they actually mean.
Right.
That's crazy.
So when
that just connected a whole nother dots.
Link building, they don't know what that is. Link building is thinking about what people are searching for and putting it on your website. You can put it on a web page. You can put it on a blog. You can make a video. You can create a tool. You put that on your website and watch what happens.
Yeah, I realized that that's such. I never knew how important SEO was until we owned the first page. I think that's also what it is. It's like you see it. Because we've been wanting to be Googleable. That's the word that we're going to use. I don't even know if that's a word. We're going to use that word today. But we wanted to be Googleable for like a year and a half, right? And the fact that we're there, we're like, okay, we must be fulfilling a need, and people must be searching for us in a way. And honestly, I've intentionally, like you said, the Google business part, I learned that just from like establishing business credit. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Gotta have it.
Like, you gotta have that. So like knowing, like it's like it connects. It's like SEO and even credit and business credit kind of connects because they have to search for you. You have to be Googleable at the same time when banks are trying to give you stuff.
When I went to get my first luxury car, I did it in my business name. The finance manager came in and said, "You got a clean approval. I've never seen that before. There's no condition. You didn't have to do a personal guarantee your first time getting a car.
What?
We giving you this vehicle, no money down."
Why? How? Oh, because of the SEO?
He didn't
ranking?
explain. I mean, you know, of course, I've been in business at the time, I've been in business for 13 years, but, you know,
Okay, got you.
it was a few things that, you know, he was like, yeah, it's just.
Must taking care of everything.
When you Google it, it's legit.
Okay, got you. That's important. Yeah. To be when they Google you, actually look like a business.
Correct.
1,000%. Because I always view myself, I gotta look like a Fortune 500. Like when you Google me, like you have to be able to search me and be like, oh, who is this? That's how I think that's another way of why I take SEO a bit more seriously now than before, because you know I think when you're coming up as a new entrepreneur, you're not thinking about SEO.
Right.
You're just thinking about making sales, making money, whatever the case may be. Not knowing, you're not thinking about visibility, at least in that way. Right. So for us, we started shifting of what is the fastest way that people try to search things, and it's Google, right? But and YouTube, you know what I'm saying? So like, and they of course are partnered. So why not find out a way to actually be on the first page? And I think that a quick hack is picking a name that's really harder for people to find. So or harder for people, like clicking a name that's never been heard of before. Like no one knows who the fanpreneurs are. Do you know what I'm saying? So like when you Google fanpreneurs, it's just easier to Google.
Right.
You know what I mean? And in your case, I think it's also important to know your skill set, because knowing what you just said about, you know, how you got your luxury car rental business on the same platform as like an enterprise. Do you get what I'm saying? Like picture if you picked a niche or picked a name that no one really knows, and then implementing that strategy on top of it. That's what SEO. That's actually what you do. You're literally going to create a unique business name, and then you want to come up for the keywords that people are searching for, not for your name. You're going to dominate your name first, right? Of course.
But then next, you want to focus on coming up for the keywords that people are searching, and that's how you're able to compete with companies like Enterprise.
Got you.
You know, if you just think about in general, if you're searching for something you need, would much rather do business with a local company than a national company.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, 1,000%.
So like if you're looking for a tax service, you know, you're going to want to likely work with a local tax service in your city that you can go meet with, maybe a local insurance agent in your business that you can go and meet with. So you're going to Google in your area.
It feels safe too at the same time.
Correct. So these national companies that are on the first page, if you see a page in your niche that is full of directories and national brands, I call that a sweet spot on Google, because you can actually get on that first page, because as far as Google search results, it'd be a better user experience for your local brand to come up on the first page than to show a directory like Yelp or Super Pages. Or, you know, those, you see Angie's List, you know, those types of, in the luxury rental car, it will be Turo, right? That's going to be the national brand that I would completely.
Yeah, that's what everyone knows.
So my website performs better in my areas than Turo does. I come up higher for my cars than they do, because I'm locally in the area.
So I want to pivot real quick, right? And I touched on it a little bit, like new entrepreneurs, right? So like if someone is an aspiring entrepreneur, they want to be an entrepreneur, they're getting into this space, and let's say they listen to this podcast, and they want to learn SEO, right? Like let's do first, like do it yourself, right? Let's talk about do it yourself real quick. Like what are some things that would help a person like new?
You want to look at what your competitors are doing. Let's say you don't have any access to any software. And you're going to look at what your competitors are doing, and you can use, in many cases, their keywords, their strategies as a starting point. To start marketing your business. If you are targeting a small city, you know, outside of the Atlanta market, in many cases, if you choose the right keyword and make sure that your local directory listings have been claimed, the one we talked about, the Chamber of Commerce and the Bing, Yahoo, local, Google, local page, You get listed on all the major directories. There's a good chance you can get on the first page just by implementing
Those things.
The meta tags on all the pages of your website and getting claimed on all the directories. There's a good chance you can do that. And then from there, you may start to get into some more advanced strategies with trying to do link building.
Got you. Okay, cool. So you talked about your name. I want to dive into the name piece real quick. Get in the space of like at least working towards getting on the first page.
Well, I gave the blueprint already. First thing you're going to focus on your name.
Okay.
You want to have your information on your name, and then
trademarking, right? Would you suggest someone, if they're an aspiring entrepreneur, to trademark their name first before actually making it where it's Googleable across the world, pretty much? Like, how do you view your name? How is the name, image, and likeness like a key thing for you when ranking, if that makes sense?
It's not really related to SEO as much as for like more like an attorney question, as far as like the legalities that go into it. For your name, when you choose your LLC, you want to pick out a name that's okay to use in your area. You're just doing trademarking, that's national. So then that goes into a different conversation. So, I would definitely speak with an attorney about that, but you can get visibility locally with your LLC in the market. And that is completely okay if you've gotten your LLC, you've gotten the information you need.
Got you. Okay, so I wanna take a clean pivot real quick just to make this for people to be able to relate to. Like, what made you get into this space of SEO? Like, SEO isn't something that most people kind of just dive into. Like, did you bounce between businesses first? Like, was there like a deciding factor? Like, what made you get into that?
So my background is with the Yellow Pages. I work with a company called Yellow Book USA. Back in 2007, I started with them. President's Club salesperson, first year, and back in that time, internet was growing.
Yeah,
it was, and the Yellow Pages was was on a major decline, and so I was fortunate to be a part of a company that saw the writing on the wall. They decided to train us on some SEO strategies. And so I actually started taking it to my Yellow Page clients, how to optimize their Google Maps, how to do some things on their website, and their phone just started blowing up.
Oh, wow.
So the phone starts ringing. They're trying to give me money. I'm like, no, I do your Yellow Page. That's good. That's all I need. Just renew your Yellow Pages. So they're renewing the Yellow Pages because I'm handling their Google My Business page. They're paying Yellow Pages $500,000-$600,000 a month, but I'm making them so much money on the Google My Business. They want to keep me as their rep. So I immediately realized I got to make a website. I got to figure it out. And so
interesting.
I built my first website in 2009 and shot to the first page of Google within a week. The phone started ringing, and they told a friend. By February 2010, I had more clients than I could keep up with. Yellow Book was about to put me on a plane.
Oh, that's crazy.
And so at that point, it was just say, I got to make a choice. I'm going to bet on myself, or I'm going to stay, stay with this company. And so I made a decision. I incorporated February 2010 and been doing it ever since.
So how has because you've been an entrepreneur for a long time, how has that transition through the internet evolving over time? Because 2010, social media isn't what it is today.
Question.
Like, influencers wasn't big at that time. So like, how are you transitioning over the evolution of internet?
So SEO has definitely evolved, but it's the same general idea, right? Because Google simply wants to get better at providing the best answer to a question. They're obsessed with getting the best answer. And so if you have created your content in a way to give the best answer, then you win.
Got you.
All the, Google updates are going to be around how to make the results page more valuable and answer the user's question better. And so that's how you avoid getting any penalties. Now, people will do all types of, things to try to manipulate search, and eventually those things will get caught. But if you make it your intent to create good content, like some of the things we talked about, if you just have that same concept you have with social media, you will always be on the other side, because that's what people are looking for. And when you provide that answer, you get the results.
So if I Google, like, let's say I wanted your service, right? What exactly am I Googling to get your service?
Most people look for Atlanta website design.
Really?
Yeah. A lot of people don't know what it is, right? So I particularly, people look up Atlanta website design, Stone Mountain website design. So they're looking for the website design company. So likely, if a company is ranking against all the other website companies in the city, and they're on that first page, then they're capable of getting you on the first page for a less competitive keyword. So if you're able to look in your market and see a company and they're ranking for that keyword, or SEO company Atlanta, or SEO company in their city, then likely they're able to do the same thing for your business.
So if I Google Atlanta website building, you will pop up.
Yes, sir. Lead web professionals.
That's cool. That's cool. So like when you're doing SEO though, your site says Atlanta. What'd you say?
Elite web professionals.
Elite web professionals, right? So that's a bit broad. So like, are you also doing web design, web development,
Absolutely. So
SEO included in all of that at the same time?
as I talk about like how SEO evolved, I have, in order to do SEO, you need to do website design.
Of course.
Okay. So that many times you come to a project and it's just nothing you can do but rebuild the website from scratch.
Okay.
So
got you.
Many times that's where you're going to start doing a new project. Okay. Outside of that, it's evolved to where now YouTube is a big part of SEO.
Yes, it is.
Social media is a big part of SEO.
For sure.
That your reputation, your company name, and your reputation that you generate on social media has an impact on how well your website ranks. So your ability to get people to engage with you, your ability to add content, definitely can help you rank better for certain phrases. So
got you.
that's that's why I'm a web professional. I'm not Elite SEO Atlanta. I am a web professional, in that
makes sense to me.
Anything that you need as it relates to getting visibility on Google, on the internet, I can help you generate traffic.
Okay. I'm going to ask we can play a little game real quick.
Okay.
Just off of knowing websites. I know websites. So WordPress or Shopify?
I'm going to go with WordPress.
WordPress? Okay. All right.
Now, that comes with a condition. Many people, if you have an e-commerce store, then
they would pick Shopify.
Shopify is good. At the same time, when you need to recreate content, the blog feature is not as powerful. So that's where you can merge the two and do a Shopify and WordPress website.
Oh, yeah, because they do have that integration.
Yes, sir.
They do have that
so
integration.
Now you can get the content benefits of WordPress as well as all the plugins, interactions of
got you.
Of
okay.
Shopify site.
I never thought about that. We're just now getting into to WordPress. Our what was it? Our FamCon, our event that we just had was on WordPress. I like the design on WordPress a lot better. I'm not gonna lie to you. The design on WordPress is like A1 compared to like Shopify, because you got your own templates on Shopify. You're very limited on design perspective on Shopify.
Well, we can create any design on either one. So whatever design you see in a photo, we can create that in Shopify or WordPress. So,
so you specialize in both.
Yeah, you can program your web page to look exactly the way you want either one.
Okay. Now, are you doing more programming or are you doing more designing?
We do all of it. We have the design. We have a programming team that will code a design. So if you had a designer you love, you give us the PSD file. We take that. We create a clickable website, whether it's Shopify or WordPress.
Okay.
And then we implement our SEO strategy from there.
I want to ask a business question real quick, because I actually took a course on websites. I forgot his name. It was some guy on YouTube. I wouldn't say he's big, but he's, in regards to WordPress, he's like the go-to guy, right? And I took his website to kind of know the inside outs on the business side, the operation side of business, because I did funnels back in the day. I was creating funnels back in the day. So in your case, as a person who's doing the web space, what does your team look like? If we're like just shifting gears real quick, like what does your team look like if someone wanted your service? Like what does your team look like in regards to getting that website done?
That's a good question. So I have a team of designers that all they do is design. They do not know how to code. Okay. Then I have a team of programmers who don't know anything about designing. All they do is code websites.
Yep.
I found that to be effective because many times you don't get both, and if you do, they're extremely expensive. If someone can design and code, they know their worth. Don't even do it. They gonna tell you.
I literally went through that issue myself. Oh my God, I went through that issue. This man literally charged $7,000. I was like,
the problem is they can't keep up with the work. They're gonna do one project. It's gonna take them a month or 2 months. They can't keep up with the work, so it's no good. So you have a designer. They get those designs out in 2 days. Your programmer can get the programmers can get the same design done in about 3 or 4 days. So now you got a site clickable in a week. So now you have to do is add the content. So then you have writers to write your content. 2023, we got access to AI. It's so powerful.
Man.
It gives you so many different ideas. So
And less
much access,
expensive.
information. And then what you can do is you can find out, on a deeper level, what people are searching for and how these keywords relate. So it gives you a wide range of new ideas to add to your content. Then from there, may consider adding some type of interactive tool. Many, things are like trying to search for people searching for price, people searching for how to, breaking down, your step-by-step process, add that on the website so that people who's Googling 2:00 in the morning about your industry, how do I put a hardwood flooring? Well, you got the step-by-step process on
Right.
your website. You're the expert. Who are they going to call when they come to make that decision?
1,000%.
Right. So
1,000%.
that's what from the coding. So then after the coders, my SEOs, they don't know how to design. They don't know how to code. They don't know how to. All they do is SEO. They don't write any content. They just do the SEO. Once the website has been complete, if you have a 10-page website, you're looking at 5 to 10 hours of SEO alone on that page.
Interesting.
That's just
There's
SEO.
So
That's not
many. What's crazy is when I was doing the websites or the funnels, because I don't want to confuse the two, because those are two different things. I didn't think about SEO. Actually, I did, but I didn't know at the time to hire a designated SEO person for my business. I didn't know until like I think later on, and I kind of stopped the business, or it was at pause because we focused on this one. But like I heard he told same thing, web designer, programmer, copywriter. But nowadays that was, AI wasn't as popping then.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Or it wasn't as advanced for you to just be able to, because you could pretty much pivot, maybe have a copywriter that manages, but like you pretty much don't even need a copywriter nowadays. And then an SEO person, I didn't think. Did I miss anybody? Did you say another person?
No, you got your designer, your coder, your writer, and then SEO.
That's crazy.
Those are the 4 P's.
That's crazy. It's just amazing how a person can completely hire, because you're no longer in it anymore. I mean, like you may be like in it from time to time, but like you're not making the sites, doing the SEO if you don't need to, unless you're just managing the team.
Right. So, you have certain complicated projects that, I do come in and create a strategy for. So when you're building larger websites, 50 to 100 to 200 page sites, you have to have a specific strategy on what page goes where, what links to what.
Wait, how many pages?
50 to 100, 200.
Why would somebody
pages.
need that many pages?
Every website needs a lot of pages.
But 50 to 100?
So let's take, we go back to the example again. We're going to go back to the luxury car site. I don't want to just rent cars in Atlanta. I want Dunwoody. I want Roswell. I want Alpharetta.
That makes complete sense.
All of them have to have a landing page.
You're right.
And they all have to be for luxury cars. They need to be a landing page for exotic cars. Two separate pages.
I didn't think of it that way.
So now if I have 25 cities in Atlanta and I have 2 separate pages, that's 50 pages right there. That doesn't include my services page. Doesn't include my convertibles page. That doesn't include my limousine rental page. These are all separate pages that need to be created so that if someone's searching for luxury rental car Dunwoody, that my website pops up. Luxury rental car, all the cities
on one page.
You have to have a strategy where are those pages in the website and how they all link properly so that they're organized in a way that's easy for a search engine to find.
And user-friendly for somebody to go through.
And it makes sense if I'm looking through your website, if I come on this page and I see these are the cities that they service, it makes sense. It's not like,
I didn't think it that way. I'm thinking number-wise. I'm like, dang, that's a lot of websites to make. What about website management? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, do you do the hosting and everything as well?
Absolutely. Yeah, you that's important because of security.
Right.
So, Instagram got hacked a couple of years ago.
Yep, that's exactly.
Heard about Home Depot. Yep. Vegas got hacked.
Vegas got hacked. What?
Big time.
Wait, I missed my life. Skipped that part. When did Vegas get hacked?
Listen,
Wait,
that kind of snuck under the radar.
They got hacked this year.
This year, it snuck under the radar. It was a big deal. A
lot
of money went out the door. But hacking is a real thing, and if you have SEO,
that's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, and so what happens is that you need to protect your website, keeping your website updated, keep all your plugins up to date, your website up to date, and then monitor it. If there anything, any usernames that have been created on your website, you're going to delete them right away. So That's what the website monitoring aspect comes in, because if you have a website that's ranking well, someone is going to try to attack you.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Instagram pays hackers to hack the website. If you can successfully find a hack, they'll pay you. Same thing with Facebook. Alpharetta.
Right.
So you have to have a landing page for each of those.
That makes sense.
In order to have those page, you don't want them in your title menu. You don't want to have.
Oh, that's genius.
So that way they can find the vulnerability before a bad guy does.
That's genius. That's absolutely genius. We should probably do that for our website. I know we need to do that for our website.
Man, if to the scale of like a Google and those guys, I mean, they're paying. They have trillions of hits a day, right? So.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So your security on your website is going to be making sure your stuff is updated regularly and making sure your site is up at all times, and you have that type of monitor and having a good backup. So if something happens, you just delete that site and back up your other website, and then have a programmer go in and figure out what a vulnerability is.
Look, is generational wealth and legacy building something that you've been trying to do? Is legacy building something that seems hard? Is something that, is far-fetched? Well, look, I got something better for you that'll literally change the game and how you view things. We are coming out, and it's already there. Literally click the link below. We have something called a free family business workshop. This is a free training that's literally going to show you from A to Z on how to build legacy, what legacy means to us, and what legacy should mean to you all. And guess what the method is based off of? The Rockefeller method. Have you wanted to make $600 billion just like the Rockefellers? Is this something that you've been struggling to do? Well, look, we got the best thing on the planet. The family business workshop is the way to go. So I'm telling you, click the link below, join that family business workshop, learn the Rockefeller method the right way, because we're literally doing the exact same thing that they're doing. The whole life policy, the trust, the ministry trust, the family trust, the private trust, showing you how to build everything from the ground up. This is what we're going to be doing. So look, appreciate you. Tap below and I'll see you there.
So it doesn't happen again. So that's what we do at a level on a small website, 1,000 pages or smaller. That's where you're protecting yourself by just keeping a backup and making sure that your vulnerabilities are up to date.
See, the thing is, when I was doing the funnels and everything at the time, I don't think I ever thought of it in that. I was doing it, but I don't think I thought of it in that extent of posting. You get what I'm saying? Like, you're thinking on a whole nother, like, I never thought about even backing it up, right? Which, that probably would have been a smart thing to do, right? But like nowadays, ClickFunnels, they don't really have
doing it for you.
Yeah,
they
exactly
handle some of that stuff for you. So
right. So I was just about to say, I never really needed to like back up anything, but just like in general, just the thought of having a backup, right? I didn't think about that when creating a site, which is important for any business owner to have as a backup. Right. At any point in time.
Right. There's hosts that will give you a daily backup of your website.
Correct.
Great idea to just have that, because if something happens and then you want to monitor your site and know it's uptime. So if the site goes down 2:00 in the morning, when you see it was down, you can say, okay, at 1:59 the site was fine. So you can actually go back to that time before that happened. And then you go and find that vulnerability. Okay, right. What was the reason? How did they get into the website? And then you fix that.
That's interesting.
Many times that's the solution. And, of course, your security guys will probably say, okay, sometimes you can't do that. Sometimes you have to go and fix the vulnerability at the source of the problem without a backup, because that's the best way for you to see where the vulnerability came in the first place. Got
you. So in your case, would you hire hackers for your clients to make sure it's not hacked? No, not at that extent.
No, I only deal with them if they come see me.
Okay. Would you do? I heard that in regards to updates, hosting, and everything, that there's like like they would do a subscription every month for a hosting. Right. Do you do the same thing on your end, like to manage the actual account?
Yeah, we do.
Make
hosting.
Sure it's that. Okay.
For an SEO client, you're paying for that in your SEO, in your marketing.
Okay, so that's included within everything. Yeah. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, that's I've heard people do like separate, like, oh, it's additional for us to manage, but you're doing it included. Okay, that's cool.
Included, and then of course, your hosting environment, how your hosting is set up, how fast your hosting is. Google is looking at how fast your site loads, because that's actually a ranking factor. That's important for conversion rates too, right?
1,000%.
So if your site is slow to load, people are gonna be like, man,
I'm not finna go on 1,000. I actually learned that the hard way. On one of my funnels. I realized that when you have a stupid amount of animations on a website that can't, flat, all that can't hold that amount
on a cell phone, it's just slow.
It's too slow. So I lost literally $3,000 because it was loading slow. So I took out all animations, and then I
It's good
realized
that you picked it up though, because some people just don't know. Some people's website is slow and they have no idea. A website called Page Insights.
yeah, I've heard of that.
There's a really good tool to search and see what your speed level is, and if you see that you're failing the speed test and you just have a low grade of, especially if it's 20 or below, then you should definitely address that. That could definitely it's impacting your rank on Google for sure.
1,000%.
But it can also be impacting when you are ranked on the first page. If someone clicks on that site on the phone and it's slow, they just back it and go to another website. So it could be costing you money.
What's crazy is I didn't even pick it up. My my social media manager at the time picked it up.
Okay.
And she knew about Page Insights.
Okay.
And so it's great to have team members that do these type of things. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
She went on the site, was just testing things out.
Just slow.
She was like, this thing isn't even loading up.
Mm-hmm.
And then she brought out like, this is at like a 3.
Right.
And I was like, oh, this was the time when I just literally learned.
Did you have Flash on there or anything?
I had all of it on there.
Okay.
I had every single animation
JavaScript.
you could, and Flash, JavaScript, and every animation you could think of. I was animating the text,
Right.
the box around the
Everything
text.
moving,
This
yeah.
was like this was like the first time I knew how important animation was and interacting with with engagement on a site. And so I was just like, I'm animating everything.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then so it slowed everything down. Then that's when I learned, okay, you actually have to be smart and intelligent with when you do stuff like that.
Same thing if you put that on your social media page. If they click from your link tree and they go to a page and take forever to load, they're gonna go right back to Instagram.
Absolutely,
They're not gonna
I've
click
done
on
it.
Right,
I've done
so
that.
it's all, having a complete internet marketing strategy is what I promote. So what I hear a lot of is a lot of people have social media, a lot of people pay paid ads, but a lot of times they do not invest in SEO. It's a part of your marketing strategy. And if you are not doing it, you should get some information about how you can implement that strategy into your business, because likely you are missing money.
1,000%.
Your competitors are laughing because they're literally just going to the bank with the keywords, your market share. They're getting paid.
1,000%. I think that was. I couldn't say it better myself on that one. I'm not gonna lie to you. So can you tell the audience how can they get in touch with you? How can they really get to know who you are? Do business with you? Google you. You know what I'm saying?
I'm Chris Williams. My company is Elite Web Professionals. You can find me on Instagram at Chris Williams Inc. If you're looking to get better visibility on Google, give me a call. I'll be happy to help you out. I particularly like working with companies that are the best, because that's what Google's looking for. If you're the number one in your industry and you're looking to get visibility from people searching for what you do and you're the best in your industry, I'm the man to call. We make you number one.
Look, y'all heard it from my man himself. I always say at the end of these podcasts, every person that's on here, think of this as a personal referral, okay? This is somebody who's literally an expert in their craft, a person that takes the time to learn it. I mean, this man, you would say 13, 15 years? Or is it?
Years.
Yeah, 15 years now. I was about to say, I definitely got the number wrong. That's a professional. You get what I'm saying? So y'all definitely need to tap in with my man. Appreciate you, Chris, for hopping on. Thank you so
Thanks for
much.
having me, man.
It's definitely a blessing to always have somebody to teach me something new, because I didn't know how important SEO was. So y'all, thank y'all. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, click, comment, do all the fancy stuff y'all supposed to do on the podcast, and leave a review. And I'll see you all in the next episode. Peace out.